Even through the darkness of the night, Mizutaka, whom she accepted to be, had a way to light up their path. It seemed concerning to Kari because it was not normal in any way. It was his orange hair that had a strong glow. Simply watching it be lit up in the dark. She continued to walk alongside him, keeping up with the same direction. This will take days at this point. Mizutaka slightly groaned and stopped walking. Kari bumped into him, not paying attention. Oh! Unfazed by the contact, Mizutaka quickly turned as he hadn't moved an inch. Better to keep your eyes up than toward the ground. You have a bad habit of not doing that. Sorry. Kari lightly touched her forehead. Where are we going? To the last place you saw Leon, or at least his clone, he included. But we will need a faster way to get there, and I know exactly what it is. Huh? Kari was confused and quickly felt something land on top of her head. It was Mizutaka's hand, and it gently placed down. She looked at him close his eyes for only a second, then opening them, staring directly into hers. Kari blankly stared at what was then glowing eyes. Memories of Leon flooded back into her mind, even some others that weren't her own. But then everything went dark. She suddenly fell unconscious, and Mizutaka caught her in his arms. He took the bags from her, taking them instead, and picked her up. After what hadn't felt like multiple hours for Kari, she woke up in Mizutaka's arms. The night had passed and there was sunlight, and Kari realized there were faint sounds of people talking. Perfect timing. Mizutaka looked down and stopped walking. Can you stand on your own? I hope so. Kari felt her body slowly lower, and her feet touched the ground. She was able to steadily land on her feet, looking around. She'd noticed that Mizutaka had her bags and simply let it be. But then she barely looked toward the direction of people talking. Her body slightly froze for a moment, and had seen a large city. Mizutaka began to walk ahead, and Kari quickly walked behind him. Kari felt slightly nervous as they walked closer, slowly stopping toward the entry. State your purpose. Wait, Miss Kari? A guard slowly walked up, recognizing Kari. You have gone for what feels like ages. He was a young man with pale skin, hazel eyes, and light brown hair. Kari looked at Mizutaka and back to him, unsure of what to say. Mizutaka chose to walk toward him instead, speaking in her place. Kari was in a small accident not too long ago. She has lost most of her memories, he said. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. The guard's eyes looked toward Mizutaka, slightly painfully. How do you know her? I am Mizutaka. I had grown up with her like family. Mizutaka slightly smiled. Mizutaka? The guard finally realized the long orange hair and eyes. I have heard great things about you. You flatter me. Mizutaka laughed. But we are looking for someone. The guard explained to Mizutaka that someone who looked the same as their description was last seen around the blue church with a tall gold spearhead far into the city. He even introduced himself to both Mizutaka and Kari as Juntega. Kari followed Mizutaka, entering the city, oddly noticing the multiple people staring at them as they passed on by. Mizutaka quietly explained to Kari that they were looking for Leon's clone, or what looked like them. Kari felt a bit anxious with the amount of people casually surrounding them. She lightly held Mizutaka's sleeve to make sure that she felt a little comfortable and didn't lose her way. They walked far and finally found the blue church with a gold spearhead. It seemed quiet around the church. A young girl was seen tending to the flower beds in front. She glanced over to them and stared for a moment. The two slowly walked over. As soon as Kari was barely close, she was recognized again. The girl was explained to and became sad, just like the guard, then told them that she hadn't seen anyone like who they described. "I am sorry, but you can check around the tavern a few buildings away for more information." The girl pointed to the left of the city. She then quickly returned, tending to the flower beds. Mizutaka waved off and had Kari follow again. They headed toward the left of the city and found the tavern. Entering, there were a few tables full, and again Kari was recognized, needing Mizutaka to explain the situation. There was someone seen sitting in a corner with a hooded cloak on. They had no drinks or food near them, but they sat on a bench near the bar, alone. It took Mizutaka a long time to fully realize them. Kari simply sat around, waiting near the front. Some tried to talk to her, seeing if they would have small conversations, or helping her remember them. Mizutaka made his move and went over to the person sitting on the bench. They looked down toward the floor, not even noticing Mizutaka standing in front. "Hey," Mizutaka spoke, with no response from them. The hooded person slowly looked up at Mizutaka, and their eyes looked into his. The eyes were gray, with small gears turning around the pupils. Mizutaka's eyes widened at the resemblance, extremely shocked. He instantly recognized it to be Leon's clone, even though they had short, bright orange hair like his own. "Leon," Mizutaka mumbled under his breath, slightly shaking. End of section 23.